So what we're going to do today is take a little trip down memory lane, and I'm going to show you a build. If you haven't seen it, you might have already seen it, but this build was absolutely busted. It was all over. Everybody in the Destiny 2 community seemed to be running it, all based around Chaos Reach, the middle tree Stormcaller. So the Chaos Reach, it does like a massive bolt of lightning out your hands that does an absolute crap ton of damage, and it was based around these. And when these things first come out, it was absolutely busted. Like I said, everybody ran it from Gambit to PvP, and recently they got nerfed. But what it reads, it says damaging targets with Chaos Reach extends its duration. So it really made the super on the middle tree really strong. And like I said, they did get nerfed, and it used to have a little bit of extra writing under here that basically stated when you got to like 75-80% of your super, all you had to do was just sprint and it'd just top your super off. So you only needed to get like 75-80% of your super, and the rest you could just run around and top it off. And what sort of tipped this build over the edge in PvE especially was the introduction of this mod here, Energy Converter. While charged with light, using your grenade attack grants you super energy, consuming all stacks of charged with light. The more stacks you have, the more energy you gain, up to a maximum of 50% of your super. And when this mod come out, this build really took off, because there was some videos. I mean, I did a video for one of my friends to help him do it, but he got in like 7 or 8 supers in a strike easily without trying too hard. So I'm going to show you some clips now of how this build is still pretty good now, even with the Geomag nerf. I'm running Energy Converter, and what you'll notice, I've got 5 times charge light, but when I do the clips, just keep an eye on my super energy that I get back when I throw my nade. Right, stay tuned, I've got some clips. Now, just keep an eye on that bottom left. You'll notice I'm charge light times 5, and as soon as this super goes, I'm going to throw my nade, and that's the Energy Converter kicking in, that big chunk of energy there. Good 30% of your super back straight away. Don't forget, this is Geomags that have now been nerfed. So basically, you only have to throw your grenade to get 30%, and before the nerf, you sprinted for the last part. So you was only really looking at to get like probably 60% of your super on your own, and the rest you could just do with your grenade and you sprinting to top it off. So again, you'll just notice there that I'm charged with light times 5. I'm going to show you exactly how to set this build up to get the most out of that Energy Converter mod to get your super back. I'm just going to show you this bit of gameplay now and how quick you can actually get your super back with it. You'll notice there, look, I'm again charged with light times 5. I throw that grenade. I've also got the Arc Siphon mod as well on my helmet. I'm running an Arc Sword with Fresh. Any weapon with Fresh, you're going to create orbs and get super energy going at the same time. But you can see there, I've just used my super, and this is the point where you'd be sprinting now with the old version of the Geomags, but you don't actually need to with this type of build. It's already really strong. I mean, look at that. What was that? 10 seconds? I didn't count, but probably like 10-12 seconds to get my super back, and then bang, you straight back at it again with that Chaos Reach that can cause absolute carnage. So it's still, to this day, it's still a really good build, I promise you. And I'm just again thinking about Arc 3.0 next season. If this sort of build comes back around, you know, keep an eye on this one, because the Energy Converter mod could be really strong. This is just more clips now. The Arc Siphon mod kicking in with my Fresh sword. I think there's a few weapons that you can roll Fresh on, which helps, because like I said, you do get the orbs and the sort of energy, super energy going at the same time as well, and you can get your super back really quick. So I'm going to leave this clip just sort of playing out, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to set this build up to get your 5 charge light pretty easily. It's quite an important setup, so stick around and I'll show you exactly how to set it up. Right, so now I'm going to show you how to set this build up. Again, it's just based around Geomags and Energy Converter. So what that does, like I touched on it earlier on, but basically what it does is it converts your charge with light into super energy. Whenever you chuck your grenade down, as long as you times 5 charge light, it's going to give you a nice big chunk of energy back. And what you need to do as well, what I didn't mention, is you need to throw that grenade as soon as your super energy is gone, because if you throw it when you've got about 30-40% of your super, it won't work, so you need to be throwing that grenade basically as soon as you've used your super, and that's going to give you the best out of it. And then, as it said there, it's just like basically what we need to do with this build is get to ×5 charge light as quick and as easy as possible. So how we I would do it in this build here is we run it with a couple of solar pieces. So charged up is one of them. So what it does, it gives you the ability to become 3 times charge light, and then you need to run this other one, which again is on a solar piece, which is supercharged. Now you need to run both of these together, supercharged and charged up. And what that does, it supercharged and charged up, it enables you to get to 5 times charge light times 5. So that's how you're going to get the best out with this energy converter mod. Now the other ones that to run is, this one's an obvious one, taking charge, become charged with light by picking up orbs of power. And then I've already touched on the siphon mods. I'm running an arc siphon mod, but it'll work obviously with a solar siphon mod, a kinetic siphon mod, or even like a void one, whichever one sort of matches your weapons. That's what I tend to stick with. That's going to create the most orbs. So taking charge, energy converter, charged up, supercharged, and then to make it even easier to get to the 5 times charge light, what I do is I run this one stacks on stacks. Every time you pick up an orb of power, or that's going to basically double your intake. So instead of getting 1 times charge light, you're going to get 2. So you were on this build, you only had to pick up 3 orbs of light, and that's going to give you ×5 charge light. So that's how I sort of set this build up. I hope this sort of build is going to be like back next season at some point, because it was a really fun build. And I'm just going to quickly touch on the weapons. I like to run bad juju with this one, because it basically what it does, it increases your super gains, kills refill the magazine, increase damage for a short duration, and grants super energy based on the strength of string of cases. So it's like basically an exotic version of the perk Fresh. And then an arc forbearance with something like chain reaction, you're going to get loads of orbs with your arc siphon mod. And then this sword I've got Fresh on it, which is also arc. So Fresh and the arc siphon working together, you get loads of orbs and loads of super energy. But there's plenty of different options you can choose, but that's sort of your main sort of setup. I'm going to leave one more clip of the Titan with the cuirass of the Falling Star doing some super smashing, and then that's it. You can basically run that build on any character. I just picked out the Titan because that's another sort of solid one for next season. Anyway, I hope the build's been good. Have a great day.